Welcome! I hope that you are doing well. By the end of this video, you will be able to leave feedback and a review for a transaction that you have had on eBay, either as a buyer or a seller. Let's get started. So you want to have eBay open, and the easiest way to find feedback for an item that you've purchased is to go up to the right-hand corner, go to My eBay, and then click on Purchase History. When you click on Purchase History, it will take you to your Purchase History page. And on this page, you will be able to look at the orders that you have had. And so here's an order that I've had for a hard drive that I purchased. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that there is the button for Leave Feedback. So you will go ahead and click that button to leave feedback. Now, as a buyer, you can leave several kinds of feedback. You can leave positive feedback, neutral feedback, or negative feedback. Now, I have been a seller for many years and a buyer for many years on eBay, and I can tell you as a seller that most of the time most sellers are willing to work with you if you've had a neutral or negative experience. So if you did have a negative experience, before filling out your feedback, please contact the seller so that you can remedy the situation. So again, the seller will most likely work with you to find a resolution that you are looking for. So please do that first before leaving a feedback. Now, so let's say this item that I bought, I had a positive experience, so I'm going to click on positive experience. Now, when you click on positive, neutral, or negative, what that does is if you notice this number next to his name, if I open that up, you'll see he has a feedback score. And if I scroll down a little bit, you can see positive, neutral, and negative. So when you are clicking on positive, neutral, or negative, it shows up like this on their feedback score. Again, sellers do their best not to have neutral or negatives. They want to have positive feedback scores for their buyers. Again, it affects a lot of things with the seller's account when they get too many neutrals or negatives. And so my experience was positive, so I'm going to say that. Then you can write a comment in here. So this is where you write your review. So tell us more, and I'm going to say great seller, fast shipping, and excellent service. I also like to put A++ at the end. That's kind of like just one of the things. There's several other kinds of things you can write on these, but again, you want to focus on the parts of the transaction that the seller had control of. So did the seller ship it within a timely manner? Did it arrive in the description that you were expecting? And and if you had any other customer service issues, did they answer any questions you needed? So those are the kinds of things you want to review here. And again, you want to be honest. So if you did have a negative experience, go ahead and write it here. But for the most part, sellers are going to do their best to make sure you have a positive experience. So it says rate the details. And again, this comes in the star system. So you can say you have 5 stars here. So item description, it was as described. And the shipping time was very good. So he shipped it on time. Now, if it got held up with the post office or if it got held up with any other mailing service, make sure, if it was the post office's fault, do not reflect it here. This is just to say whether or not they shipped it within a timely manner. The post office is, they have their own kind of system for ratings. So it looks like everything's good. And then once I am happy with everything here, it says, I can leave the feedback or I can cancel. And again, so I am happy with my feedback. So I'm going to click Leave Feedback. And there we go. So now that I've left that feedback, it is recorded on that seller's account. Now, if you are a seller looking to leave feedback for someone who's bought something, there are several ways you can find that. You can go to back to eBay and then click on selling. So once you click on selling, it will take you to this page and it'll bring you to the overview page. You can go ahead and click on orders. And once you click on orders, it will bring you to this page. And if you don't have any awaiting shipment, that's usually the default. Then you just click this drop down and then click on all orders. Once you click on all orders, it will bring you to this page. And all the orders will be listed here. And next to each transaction, you'll have a drop-down menu. And usually leave feedback is the first thing listed if you've already taken care of everything else with the order. If not, then you'll have to click this drop-down menu and find it here. But it looks like leave feedback is there. So I will go ahead and click that. And then that brings up this panel, which is very similar to what we've talked about before. So I can use custom feedback or stored feedback, other feedback that I've done. With a buyer, the main feedback that you're going to be leaving is, did they pay on time? If they had any, did they contact you if they had any problems and were able to resolve those kinds of things. And once you feel good, then you can just click on leave feedback. Now with a buyer, you can only leave positive feedback. So when I'm looking at this screen, it looks like I don't even have a selection for neutral or negative. So one thing to keep in mind as a seller is that you can only leave positive feedback for buyers. And this is something that eBay changed years ago. It used to be you could leave, positive, negative, or neutral, but now it's just positive for buyers. And if you ever have a problem with a buyer, then you go back to that orders page and then you click on the resolve a problem button. So that's one way you can leave feedback for buyers. Another way is if you are in your overview for your selling account, go down to where you find feedback, and then you'll find it right here, and then you can just click on this to leave feedback. And once you click that, it will bring up all of your transactions, and then you can just go down this page and click on positive, or this is another place that you can report a buyer if they did not pay or something didn't go the way it was supposed to. You click on positive. Once you click on positive, then you can go ahead and enter a comment. So, great buyer, fast payment, something like that. A++. And once you feel good with your comment, then you go ahead and just click leave feedback. And so those are the main ways that you can leave feedback for the transactions that you have made on eBay, either as a buyer or a seller. As I mentioned earlier in this video, if you have any anything that needs resolved, either as a buyer or a seller, please contact the person who sold it to you or the person that you sold something to. Then you can work out a resolution. One last thing to point out is that sometimes if you leave a feedback and you bring it up to and the seller contacts you, let's say you leave a negative feedback for a seller, the seller might resolve the situation after you've left the feedback. Now, if that's the case, then you can, there is a way that you can change the feedback, but the seller has to request it. So the seller has to request, I think it's like a change feedback or alter feedback form. It's kind of tricky to find on eBay, but it is something that is possible. And they would just send you the form, you would click on it, and then you can change your feedback. So again, there is a way to change the feedback after it's been given, but most of the time, once you've given the feedback, that's the feedback that will be for that transaction. So if you have any questions on how to use eBay, either as a buyer or a seller, you can go ahead and drop that in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to answer those. I also have other eBay tutorials on this channel. I will put the links around this video, and I thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.